Hi Flosstube, welcome back. Welcome if you are new. My name is Tina and I am a 14 count Aida girl. What that means is I stitch on nothing but 14 count Aida. So if you too enjoy stitching on 14 count Aida or just want to see what I'm up to on my 14 count Aida, stick around. I have lots to show today and I hope you'll hit that like and subscribe button below. Leave me a comment. I love commenting with all of my viewers. And so today we have 17 whips to show, or what I like to call wows. A wow is my whip of the week. I do have 38 whips going on currently, and I do touch each and every one of them once a month. Therefore, you'll see them all throughout the month. So I don't really do a whip parade per se, because you basically have a whip parade through every single month. So, since we have 17 to do, we will get started with our wows. These are the whips of, actually it's been 2 weeks. Sorry, Christmas holidays and everything, crazy times. So, by the way, I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate, and a Happy New Year. We had a great time here, so. Okay, we do have the 17 wows that I have to show. One new start. I'm probably going to do a haul video right after this video for all the stitchy stuff that I got for Christmas and stuff, because this one's going to be probably pretty long. I don't have a helper today, so it's going to take me a little longer to get through these. So, okay, well, let's start on the first whip of the week, which was laundry. Looks like this. I am almost done with this iron. I just got to finish out the middle of him. And then my daughter Courtney, who is my back stitcher, will come through and back stitch the iron. And then we will move on to the last row. I believe there's one last row. This is, here it is, Laundry by Bobby G Designs. I should have showed you this first. So I am here working on the center, getting ready to do the center, light gray there, and then the alphabet, and then we'll move on to the last row. So hopefully this one will be as finished in 2024. That's a goal. Okay, so there's number one. Laundry is on a 14 count ivory. And it got 127 stitches. I do try to count my stitches. I just count them by hand. Sometimes I don't. I get lost or whatever, and I just don't get a count on them. But most of the time I do. This one also should be a finish for this year. This is Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street Samplers. I really tried to get this one done in 2023, but it did not happen. But this is where I am on this. This is done on a 14 count ivory as well. And this is done in NPI silks. And the last one was done in DMC. Most everything I do is in DMC. If you are on the fancy floss they call for, but I will distinguish between them if they are. So that's two that we hope to finish this year. Okay, next thing we have is Jack Frost Farm. Liberty's Welcome got 119 stitches. So I try to put a minimum of 100 stitches in them a month. So some will get a little more, some get a little less, just depending on where my stopping point happens to be. So this is Jack Frost Farm, and I am on the third part of Jack Frost Farm, which is this tree here. And I have just finished the two people and the dog. The two people and the little dog. And I started this little heart, and I'm getting ready to do the big tree. So this is part 3. You can see part 1 and 2 are done. I don't have hopes for this one for being done this year, but we shall see. We shall see. This is done in the called for fancy flosses. Classic Colorworks mostly, I think. Yeah, they're all classic. And one DMC, called for one DMC. So, that is done. I don't think I told you, on a 14 count parchment. So that's what that is. And the next project I have is Little House Needleworks Pringles. I'm sure everyone has seen this one. And where am I? I just did some presents. I am in block 2 up here. So there again, I don't think there's going to be a finish on this one this year either. But this is where I am so far. You can see the snow at the top. I did have to use B5200 for that because you just couldn't see the color that was called for, which is this one here. And I did have to change some of their clothing. Like she had on a dress that was this color, but you really couldn't see it. So I changed her dress to basically that brick color. I changed the gentleman's uniform using some blue colors. If you would like my information on what color his stuff is, you can ask and I can tell you what color I did his in. These trees up here were supposed to be white, or this color up here. There again, it blended too much with my fabric, so I just changed it. So I'm just changing anything that blends too much. I'm probably gonna have Courtney backstitch this gift because you can barely see that it's there. So I don't think I picked a very good fabric for this one. So, and I don't have the name of that fabric at all, so I can't say. Just that it's 14 count. And Kringle's got 120 stitches. The next project I worked on is the Blue Rhapsody. And this is by Rosewood Manor. Now I'm a pink girl, so I changed my colors to pink, and I call mine Pink Rhapsody. I'm doing this with some friends of mine at our LNS. And there's where I am. I have the A, B, C, and D done. D is the last thing I got done. This is done on a 14 count white Aida. And it got 114 stitches. The husky fur's on there. Husky glitter. It's on every project. Okay, the next project is Old Glory, which I started on 4th of July. And this is also another Rosewood Manor. I love everything patriotic if you're new here. And I am still working on the very first flag. It's deceiving. This is really, really big. Okay, so here we go. 14 count. And this is done on a beautiful beige. And I just finished that last red stripe there. So it got 192 stitches in that red one there. So it might have included the white one. I can't remember. It might have been the white and the red. But anyhow, I got 192. Like I said, sometimes they get more than 100. Just depends on the roll I'm on. The next project is Our Hearts, and this is done by With Thy Needle and Thread by Brenda Gervais. Looks like this. Your heart and my heart are very old friends, and I am working on this flower and the vase. I'm working on the vase currently. And this is done on I believe it's Vintage Country Mocha. Yes, Vintage Country Mocha. And this is where I am. And this does have a few specialty stitches in it, which were not hard to learn at all. They were quite easy. They had really good directions. And so this one very well could be a finish this year. We shall see. No promises, but hey, I'll put it down as a goal. We'll see. And Our Hearts got 110 stitches. Next thing I worked on was the shepherd, and this is by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I do have this entire series. And it is a lot bigger than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be smaller, but it's going to take a minute. This is done on a blue fabric called Ocean Air. And that's where I am on it. And it got 127 stitches. I think I finished coloring in the sheep. I think that's what I did. Yeah, finished coloring in the sheep, and then I added this, the finish of his leaf, which is part of the branch where he's holding him. Holding the little sheepy. So that little sheepy is done, and I will probably continue working on the coat next. I'll probably just go to the other side and finish in his coat. Okay, so the next project I worked on was winter owls, and I asked 2 weeks ago that when I finished everything, what was things that people wanted me to work on, do a little extra on, and this one was voted for a few times, so this one got an extra 400 stitches. So this is my winter owls. This is off of an Etsy by Fabric Arts Design. It's really, really beautiful. The picture does not do it justice, which you will see in a moment. Okay, and I have finished my next diagonal. And it is looking so, so gorgeous. I love it so much. So we will start back up here. And I believe the owl's heads start right about here. So hopefully within either this diagonal or the next one, the owl's heads will start appearing. But I just love the pine cones and the tree. It just looks so, so beautiful. These are done in DMC, and they are done on a 14 count white Aida. By the way, I don't think I told you about the last one, did I? The shepherd is done in DMC, and it is on Ocean Air. I did tell you that. Okay, but that one was DMC. And the winter owl's got 400 stitches, so it got its extra. One Nation I worked on next. I am still in the blue field, but I am getting really close. I think this is the last row for the blue field, and then I can start filling in stars and states. One Nation did get 112 stitches put into it. This is done on a 14 count ale, which I believe was it's called for fabric. And it is done in DMC. In case you have not seen One Nation, this is what it's going to look like. I'm a little backward today. Bygone Stitches is who made it, and that's what it's going to look like. It's got all the states in order of the way they entered the Union. And I am like right here somewhere. I'm getting really close to the end of that, and then I can start filling in those stars and states. I know there are 99 stitches. I think it's 99 stitches per star, so it's gonna be a minute. Okay, so One Nation got 112 stitches. Okay, next project was Beachcomber. Beachcomber I worked on, oh, when did I work on this? I took it with me somewhere. So it's gonna be easy to work on. Somewhere I had to go. I don't even remember now. Oh, that would have been Christmas. Oh, I worked on it here at the house while I was making Christmas dinner. That's what it was. And so it was just real easy to work on. That's what it was. So this is Beachcomber by Carolyn Manning Designs. And on Christmas Day, I got 360 stitches. It's the only thing I worked on Christmas Day because, like I said, I had my family here and I had to make Christmas dinner and do the gifts and all the Christmassy things. And so this is where I am on it. It is just done on a 14 count white Aida, and it is done in DMC flosses as well with 360 extra stitches. Okay, so the next one we worked on was Signpost Stitcher by the Colorado Cross Stitcher. It's a really beautiful design she has up in her store, and it is just gorgeous. Signpost Stitcher got 167 stitches. I was working on the roof of the house, and that's where I am on that. I still have a lot to do inside that border. There's little leaves and stuff that I don't have up in the border yet. So after I finish the house, maybe I'll go back and fill in some of that border. That is done on a 14 count fabric flare called Nut, which I cannot find anymore. It's a really pretty piece, but I can't find it anywhere. And that's done in DMC flosses. And it got 167 stitches, if I didn't already say that. And the next project was Welcome to the North Pole. And this is by Primrose Cottage Stitches. Looks like that. Really cute design. I am in that first row there. Writing in North Pole now. It's looking really, really cute. And Welcome to the North Pole got 97 stitches. And like I said, that was just a good stopping point. So that's where it went. It is done in DMC flosses, and its fabric is Golden Needle. Okay, what do we got next? Next, I worked on my Monopoly board. I'm sure everybody knows what a Monopoly board looks like. This is what mine is. And I just worked on the next property, which was, yeah, I pulled it far enough, okay. This one here. I just put in the outline of this one here. So next time I will fill in this purple, bring my blue across, Courtney will backstitch. She's still got to put the chest in here. She's still working on the words Over Here and Go. I still have to finish the O. So still a lot to work on this one. And this is on a beautiful green fabric that I had dyed for this particular project. And it is called Frosted Jade, and it's by To Die For Fabrics. And the stitches are done in DMC. Okay, and Monopoly got 98 stitches because that's just where it landed when I finished the outline of that property. The next project I worked on was Nativity, and Nativity got a lot of extra help this month, because I'm still just in the black, and I was just like, let's just knock a bunch of these out, squares out. So we're still up in the sky, which is nothing but black. Looks like this. This is Edit to Cross Stitch on Etsy. This is the nativity, and I am still up in this corner. Or it's just all black, so there's not, well, it's actually black 939 and another color. I can't recall what it is. But it got 500 stitches, so I put in a whole column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put in that whole column. So hopefully I'm gonna get to some colors here soon. Okay, and the last, nope, not last project, but almost last project. These are In the Night Forest. This is a realist kit. Looks like that. I love my owls. And I am working over here in the moon. I'm right over in here. And this is what it looks like so far. I did not count how many stitches I put in this one because I was kind of bouncing around. So it was more than 100. And that is just done with kit floss. And I think I swapped their Aida for some of my own white Aida. And of course, I'm just gritting that myself. So that was everything I worked on over the last 2 weeks. And since it was a new year, I did do a new start. So here's the new start. I decided to start a long dog sampler. I've never done a long dog before. And so this is the one I have started. It is called 1 Down, 3 Across. And I can work on Christmas anytime. I am not a seasonal person where I have to work on that project in that season. I can do it at any time. I have decided that I'm doing this on B5200. With B5200, it did not recommend a color, obviously. So I pulled out the 3865 B5200 in the white, and I decided I like the B5200 the best. And let me show you my project. Evidently, one moment. I left it down the other end. There we go. Okay. And this is what I have put into it. I did this one on New Year's since it was my New Year New Start. We went to our daughter's for New Year's and I took this over there with me and I worked on it. And I did not count the stitches on this one either. There's definitely more than 100. So that's what I have for this week. And we are at 23 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this video here. I do want to say I am going to UFO Stitcher's Resolution. For those of you who've been watching for a long time know I was working on Stitcher's Resolution. I originally started on a 16 count and I did not care for it and I moved it to a 14 count. Even on the 14 count, I'm not liking it. I think it's the pattern itself. I don't care for the font. I think it's the font that's throwing me off. And so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna UFO that one at this point. My wise owl, I have put in timeout. He's not UFO'd, he is in timeout. There's an error somewhere on my tree and I can't find it. My daughter looked and she's not able to find it. And I'm about to say, just not worry about it. It's a tree. I don't think it's going to be noticeable anyhow, and just continue on. But for now, she's going to just sit in timeout maybe for a month. Let me regain my strength to re-look at that and decide what I'm going to do with that. As always, it is the beginning of the new year. So please schedule your yearly mammogram if you have it at the beginning of the year like I do. Mine's coming up in just like another week. So don't forget to please schedule your mammograms. They could save your life. They did mine. So until next time, bye-bye.